Dear Mike, Rick, and Dave, I am trying to simulate a very simple experiment to prove the Ptfe theory as far as charge differential and alteration of cellular growth due to charge separation. Starting with something that's very simple and reproducible, we have monojet 0.9% sodium chloride flush. I've embedded 2 hypodermic needles after boring a hole through the plastic there through the conduit as 2 electric electrodes into this syringe that we can register a voltage. I've done this with 2 equal quantities, as well as just capping off these 2 syringes so they don't leak. Also, I have purchased Ptfe syringe filters, 0.22 micron, which is the same level of porosity that most of the guided tissue Ptfe membranes are formed from. And interesting phenomenon, I hooked up one of these filters, this is what it looks like, to one of the sodium chloride syringes, and despite best efforts to push fluid through this, 0.22 microns is an incredible barrier, and it's very, very, very slow. It takes an incredible amount of push to get that fluid to permeate that membrane. So with probably 10 or 15 pounds of pressure, I have pushed the saline constituent through that membrane. Now what I'm going to do is ultimately hook 2 syringes to this so that we can register a voltage across this. So for what it's worth, this is the starting portion of this, and easily reproducible without having to worry about any other extraneous compounding variables. Thanks for watching. Again, I would like to express the amount of force necessary to force physiologic saline through this 0.22 micron filter. So here we go. I'm going to start to express pressure as far as ounces of pressure. Ounces of pressure. We're overload. We're still not expressing any fluid through this. So we have from ounce pressure 30 ounces, so over 30 ounces of pressure to try to express fluid through this membrane, and it's still not dry. So it takes an incredible amount of fluid pressure to permeate this capillary bed, or I should say this 0.22 micron Ptfe filter. Ambient pressures of the human body will not produce this. Therefore, it is truly an effective barrier, ionic or otherwise. Okay, again showing that there is no permeation even after 30 ounces of force through this 0.22 micron filter. What I'm going to do, instead of pushing this through, I'm going to impart a fluid of the saline on this aspect, utilizing another saline source, so that there has not been any form of push through the microns, rather just a ambient imbibing of tissue fluid levels. So let's see if I can get this done. Okay, so I filled this edge of the filter, filled this edge of the filter with saline, but there's no push through. So we have fluid, Ptfe fluid, without over 30 ounces per 25 millimeter force to push it through this Ptfe membrane, which is analogous to what we were using for guided tissue regeneration. I believe this would be a valid test for electrical conductivity. So this is the medium. No push through, no push through. Ptfe membrane, and we'll do some voltage tests next. Good evening, Mike, Rick, and David. This is Jim, the person who raised a bunch of fuss with regarding to electroactivity. Here I have two normal saline syringes. We have a 0.22 micron Ptfe filter that I've assembled such they are in fluid intimate contact. The amount of pressure it takes to draw saline across this is over 30 ounces per square inch. They are in fluid intimate contact. Hook them up to 2 multimeters. So we have the syringes going through here. So we have 2 electrodes to register the effect of just fluid differential across this membrane. Now, I will try to scan back and point that I will be pushing only on this aspect of this and not this. This will accept a certain amount of volume, not much, and this can express a certain amount of volume, not much. So here we have, at ambient, the charge differential, and I've not done any charging with any batteries. This is simply across this membrane, the voltage potential. Here we have 25 millivolts, 0.8 millivolts. Now, I'll scan back and see if you can watch this in real time. Just with the application of pressure, fluid pressure. Watch. Do you see the differential here? Just based upon fluid pressure, I'm trying to express in this direction normal saline across this Ptfe membrane. There is a hellacious charge differential that can be appreciated simply by this simple experiment. I know that this is correct. I know this is correct. We will never experience this type of charge differential based upon physiologic pressure parameters, and this does not even remotely add to the effect, the physiologic saline that is charged by piezoelectric effect from collagen and or hydroxyapatite and or dentin, etc. I can't make this more simple. This is a real phenomenon that needs to be looked at very, very carefully. Charge differential based upon flow alone, without any form of exogenous, electrical input. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys' tolerance of me, but just want to let you know this is real, and we can perhaps make the surgical field a better place because of this small acknowledgement. Have a great night.